Welcome back to another episode of Zarpado, a passion podcast. Coming to you live from Santiago de Chile in Los Condes. I got my good buddy on here, Benja.
What's up, everyone?
And remember, microphone right there, perfect. All right, so little intro with Benja, and then I'm gonna have you take it away, introduce yourself. But Benja is a buddy of Tony's, and we just hit it off and have become good friends. And he's actually a really interesting guy, and we're about to hear about it. So Benja, I want you to take over and just tell me where you're from, how old you are. I know you're studying, so tell us what you're studying. And and to add one thing, first impressions, because I know you had a funny first impression of what you thought before you met me.
Perfect.
And we'll just take it from there.
Okay, so my name is Benjamin Sanchez. I'm from Santiago, Chile, born and raised. I'm 21 years old, about to be 22. I study civil engineering here in Chile, in Pontificia Universidad Católica. That's about me. So, first impressions.
Or the story when Tony, you told a funny thing.
Okay,
and
so
we'll make it as PG as possible.
Okay, perfect. So, Tony, I met Tony, just to go back a bit, because she was a friend of my girlfriend's sister.
Okay.
So I met her, and we became friends, very good friends.
Shout out to Orne.
Yeah, shout out to Orne. And we became really good friends. And so we were in the south of Chile, in Panguipulli, when she started talking with you and everything. And I remember she showed me pictures of you, and I was like, where is he from? Because you look definitely
From India.
Yeah, from India or something. Everything in a good mood, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, no, he's Filipino. And I was like, no way, dude. He's definitely from New Delhi, definitely.
Yeah, sorry to let you down. I'm not from there. I'm actually from the Philippines. But yeah, I remember hearing that when we were partying at your house at one time, and just thinking of how funny that was. That it was just someone clear in the other side of the world, just oh, this guy's from India.
Yeah, because it's not about stereotypes and everything. It's this is someone that maybe is from a certain country or anything, but it's I just thought that, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure, especially one thing that amazes me about Santiago, and especially you living here, is this is one of the most diverse places that I've ever seen. I mean, and there's parts of Santiago too that are more immigrant, more Chilenos, more of that, right?
Yeah, everything. So
what parts would you say are more from people of the world versus more people from Chile?
I think if you go any day of the week to Santiago Centro, you can meet people from all around the world, anywhere around the world.
Yeah.
I last week I was partying at a friend's house, and it was from Sweden, no relation at anything with the people from the party, but he was just there because of I don't know what reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Was it a party, or was it a bar, or what was it all about?
That's the crazy part. It was a party, and there was a Swedish guy and he was because he met a girl from Tinder, and he was
Always goes that way.
Yeah,
it always starts.
It always starts.
From Tinder.
So he got there because the girl told him that there was a party or anything, and he got there all alone, everything, and he was very chill.
Yeah.
He's a very chill dude. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that's been one of the things I've loved. As when I was in Buenos Aires, it was a mix, but not as much as Santiago. And at least from what I saw, I mean, I feel walking in the street, I hear not only English, I hear Haitian, I hear Spanish, I hear French, just all that stuff.
That's crazy because Buenos Aires is I think, I'm not sure, but I would say it's a much more tourist city than Santiago, because I mean it's prettier by far. Buenos Aires is way prettier, and I'm just thinking. But if you ask somebody from Europe, where is Santiago and where is Buenos Aires, they would always know that where's Buenos Aires, but they would never know where's Santiago. You know? It's
well,
like
there's like 50 cities in the world
Yeah.
in Santiago. You know?
It's Santiago. There's a Santiago in Spain.
In
Santiago,
Dominican Republic too.
Yeah, there's Santiago Compostela. It's in Spain.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I mean, I admire that part a lot, at least being able to see, and I feel like it's more people that like are living here. You know, it's not just people traveling. I feel like it's people that have lived here, especially in el centro. Like, that's crazy. And so, I mean, last question about this, like, growing up here and everything, has it always been like that, or do you feel more recently, or in the past, like maybe 10 years or so?
So I was born and raised in a quite privileged way here in Santiago.
Yeah.
So in that circle, you don't meet much people from around the world, you know?
Okay.
It's like you always meet people that look like you.
Yeah.
Just to say like something.
Look, talk.
Yeah, everything. So when I got to university, college as you say in the US of A,
college.
I started like meeting people like different from all around the world, like exchange students. You actually met a friend of mine, David. Yeah,
shout out to David.
Shout out to
I'm gonna
David.
hit him up and tell him to watch this just for that.
Of course. But yeah, so now that I'm older, like now I see like Santiago as a different way.
Yeah.
Like before I because I was in school, in high school, like my city, my life was like very like small. You know?
Yeah.
So that's
which is crazy because the city's huge.
It's
like
huge.
it feels huge.
It's
man.
huge.
It takes so long to get from parts to parts.
For example, my whole life before college was like I don't know, 15 kilometers, like from my house, like around
Manzana.
Yeah, Manzana.
Yeah, I learned that when I was learning Spanish. Well, I mean, how does it? Because you know, a lot of people, including myself, like I'm from a small town, man. Like I didn't grow up. I know Tony's from small town in Valdivia down in the south.
It's not that small.
It's not that small, but it's not Santiago.
Yeah, because but in Chile we have like I don't know if it's like a problem, but like Santiago is like the city in Chile.
Yeah.
Like it's like the biggest, like by far. Like
it's capital, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like half of the population lives here in this city, and we have like plenty of city. City, yeah.
So how was it growing up in the city?
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
So
what are some things you love about it?
My girlfriend is from Valdivia also, from the south, and she always told me what was like growing in the country, like not that, you could say country.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way I could live in the country. Like for me, I developed something that's really weird. It's hard for me to fall asleep without the sound of cars.
Really?
Outside.
That's
or like the sound of people, like
sound of things.
Yeah, the things. Like people talking, maybe people fighting, people going around in their cars. I know everything.
People robbing people.
Everything, dude, everything. Like for real. So
yeah.
I have a house in the beach, like 2 hours away from Santiago, and for me it's like a hard time falling asleep there because there's like everything is quiet.
So you go on YouTube and you look up city sounds.
Gray sounds they're called, no?
Yeah.
Or
is it
brown sound? I don't know.
White noise.
White noise. Yeah. Exactly.
Some colors.
It's colors and sound.
Yeah, colors and sounds. The basis of everything. Yeah. Well, I was just curious because I mean, so many people around the world, I mean, are from big cities, but so many people aren't.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's two different things.
Exactly.
You know? So before we jump into your passions, which I actually found in us having a conversation, me thinking, great intro. I'm actually wearing this new gift, this amazing gift that I got from Benja. So tell us a little bit about this Renblitz, see?
Yeah. Of course.
Tell us a little bit about this company that you
without spoilers.
Yes, okay, without spoilers.
That's a brand that I have with one of my best friends that we share the same passion.
The back here.
Of course, yeah. I'm not going to say what, but I probably guess you already know where this is going. But it was a brand that, because this year, like in March, we wanted to make something related with our passion. that of course could bring us some bucks.
Yep, absolutely. Combining work and passion is literally the way
Exactly.
to do it, man.
And so we came up with this idea. There's like many iterations before for that shirt that you're wearing. But yeah, I mean, there's not much I can talk before about that.
Okay. Before.
Yeah, before my passions. You know, when we got to my passions, I can talk more about it.
Okay. Well, perfect. Well, you know what? I think that's a good enough segue as ever to ask you the official question. What are your passions, my friend?
Okay, so my passions are. It may sound weird, but cars and everything that is related to cars, motorsport, mechanic, like mechanical engineering, for example.
Do you know how to fix cars, like stuff like that?
Like not like in a very like deep way, but of course I can like make like light changes and fix it to a car. But so that's where I was going to. That shirt was created because me and one of my best mates love cars.
Yeah.
He actually competes in karting. You know, karting like karting, like race cars. And we both love Formula One.
Okay.
And if you can turn around again. This is a shirt we created with Ayrton Senna's signature and the logo of Marlboro. Why? Because Ayrton Senna was like, for me and for many people, like the best racing driver like ever. Like you can ask everyone, and they probably say that top 3 in the history of F1. There's Ayrton Senna. And
what's his story? Do you know his story?
Yeah. He was like a rich kid from Brazil. And he was like, he had a talent that's crazy. Like when he was like 15 years old, he was winning in Europe in karting championships and everything. And he got to F1 around 1982, for example, 83 or 82. Yeah. He became like an instant hit. Like actually his second or first year. He was like almost winning races.
Really?
Yeah.
Like full, like so. And what type of races? These aren't regular cars.
No, this is like F1. It's called. I don't know how to say it in English. It's monoplaza. It's called like
the Indy or.
Yeah, it's like the Indy, but I don't want to be rude to anyone. But Indy is like way less sophisticated than F1.
Okay.
Like. Actually, there's an F1 driver that actually competed in Indy, F1 and then Indy.
Yeah.
And he said like, he's called Fernando Alonso. He's like, okay, the Indies are fast cars.
Yeah.
But they're nowhere near as sophisticated as this F1.
As the Formula.
Yeah. Nowhere near. So, going back to Ayrton Senna, he won like 3 championships. And he actually got killed in '94.
Really?
Yeah, driving the F1 car.
Out doing it, died the way he loves.
Yeah,
doing what he loves.
I always think that he probably died smiling.
I guarantee you he did.
Absolutely, yeah.
If he did it from when he was little until the day he died,
of course,
he had to have loved it.
And he was like a very mystic driver.
Yeah.
Mystical, like in every single way. There's many interviews of him saying like. That he wasn't driving the car; it was God driving the car.
Yeah.
So there is a very like known lap around Monaco. There is a F1 circuit.
Absolutely.
It's called the lap of life because it was fucking perfect.
Really.
Down to the last inch, it was perfect.
Really.
Perfect.
And what makes it perfect? Like the way he made the turns.
Everything, because in F1, every millimeter counts.
Yeah.
So if you take a corner that is like, if you go a bit too wide or a bit too close to the apex, you lost like tenths of seconds. Wow. And that's a lot in F1.
Yeah.
So normally, so in F1 you got qualifying and then the race. So in Saturday you got qualifying that you have to go around the track and make the best time possible.
Yeah.
And according to that, it's your starting place in the grid for Sunday that is the race.
Yeah.
So in qualifying, normally there's like max like 1 second between the first and the second, like max 1 second, max. And in that lap of life, he got like 3 or 2 or something seconds. It's like crazy,
Unreal.
crazy, crazy.
Wow. And so these races, these F1 races, they're with people, right? Like there's more people in the race. Or
Yeah. No. There's like.
It's not solo, like.
No. There are 20 drivers.
Okay. So and even that adds an element.
Yeah, no, it's
of
crazy.
Uncontrollability.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So there's like 20 drivers. In some years that they were like 22, maybe 18, but it's always between 18 and 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was going back to the show. That's why we love it.
Yeah.
So for me and for my friend, Ayrton Senna is like an idol, like a legend. And that's why we wanted to make a shirt like paying homage to him.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, I've never heard of him, but I'm definitely after this, especially having a shirt dedicated, made after him from one of my buddies. Like, I'm definitely gonna look into it.
Yeah, no, he's so greatest racing driver of all time.
So speak on the passion that came behind this, because first of all, creating a clothing brand, like you gotta have a passion for something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Second of all, for it to have a theme this specific, speak on some of the passion that you and your buddy kind of, because I can imagine you and your friend. Was it one of the buddies that was at your house?
No, he wasn't at my house that time. No,
Okay,
he wasn't.
Well, I can just imagine you and a buddy planning this, creating this birth child.
The best time, dude. It was crazy.
What was it like?
So creating the brand was like, I don't know, it didn't felt like work.
Yeah.
It was like doing the things like we love. So it was crazy. So I'm in charge of the design of the shirt, and he's in charge of like more in like the technical parts, the providers and everything.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. Like we just like got together and started like designing on the computer, and it was fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we loved it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So the reason why we love cars so much, I guess that there would like be different reasons between him and me, but for me, my dad loved cars.
Yeah.
Love cars. Like I think that's why I love cars too. Of course, if you think about it. But one of like my first memories were with my dad at the track, because my dad also used to race in cars.
Really?
Yeah, here in Chile.
Your dad has had the sickest life.
Yeah. So he used to race in cars like 15 years. And one of my first memories is being with him on the track. Mm-hmm. And I actually got a very nice picture of me like, 2 years old, sitting in the car.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of cars were they? They weren't F1 or
No. They're called Turismo.
Okay.
Turismo, they're like normal cars made for the track.
Like the video game Gran Turismo, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
But like they're like normal cars, like from the street, that you turn into race cars. So my dad used to race in a BMW E30.
Yeah.
It's like BMW like from it was 1986 that car. And yeah, that's why I think I love cars. I mean, that's the only explanation I got because of my of my craziness.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is, I mean, it's ironic because we're coming up right on Father's Day this weekend.
Exactly.
And
tomorrow.
I learned the passion from my dad.
Exactly.
And so it only makes sense that passion that he had was given to you.
Exactly.
You know? And so real quick, we're not going to make this episode about your dad, but share who your dad is here in Chile. Like,
my dad is he's an architect, and he makes a TV program about architecture. Actually, he's very passionate about architecture.
Yeah.
Yes, he loves like three things, like architecture, cars, and watches. That's the only things he likes. And he makes a TV program about architecture, and yeah, he's like my best friend, like in the whole.
But he's pretty big here in Chile, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say like big, but he's got like a bit of a following. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the coolest things was we were walking through Las Arias one time.
Yeah.
And I see there's this artist he actually did this really cool Spinetta drawing that I bought one for Tony.
Yeah.
And at the same one, there's your dad.
For
Your
real,
dad,
dude?
this
No shit.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
And so you haven't told me.
I can't believe I haven't told you.
No, you haven't.
But
No.
we'll after this we'll look up. We'll get the Spinetta thing. We'll look up the guy's Instagram, and I guarantee you on his Instagram he has the exact graphic.
That's great. That's great.
And
yeah.
we'll pass you. I live over. Buy it. I'll buy it. I'll buy it for you as a gift for this.
Thank you very much.
But I mean, it was just such a cool thing because I started talking to the guy. I'm like, yo, like, his son's my buddy. Like, we just hung out this past week, and it was literally right after we had that crazy night. But yeah, I mean, it's just so cool, man, to hear that this passion that brought the two of you together has actually grown into its own thing for you. And,
yes, it's
and
crazy. And I have like the luck. I'm very lucky because as I share this passion with my father.
Yeah.
We hung around like every day of the week.
Yeah.
Like they're here in Chile, like all like car enthusiasts meet up in a petrol station.
Yeah.
Like it's called Costa del Norte.
Yeah.
You can go if you like.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky because I can go there with my dad.
Yeah.
And he loves it. Yeah. So I can share about everything. I can share about cars like with my friends and with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because all of my friends also are friends of my dad. You know, that's great, dude. That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's amazing. It doesn't get better than that.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So all of your friends as passionate about cars as you?
No. Actually, I got like a group of my friends that likes cars.
Yeah.
But they're like
your car buddies.
Yeah, car buddies. Exactly, car
yeah.
buddies. I was like looking for like an expression, but
that's it.
Yeah, car buddies. But actually, it's funny because up until my freshman year in college, like I didn't have car buddies. It was only me and my dad.
Isn't that funny?
Yes. And when I got to college, I met people that like cars. We like connected like instantly. It's very crazy because, well, as I show you in my shirt, people that like cars talk in some way like in the same language.
Yeah.
Because you can talk about anything about cars, and you can be like talking about like 3 hours without getting bored.
Yeah.
You actually met some of my car buddies.
Okay.
The redhead in my body.
Yeah.
In my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of my car buddies.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That dude is awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's awesome.
Shout out to Max.
Max, yeah, man. But we laugh so much.
Yeah, he's great. So yeah, that's I'm very lucky, you know, because I can share it with my dad, and my dad like he's awesome in that way. Like he's my best friend, like by far. Dude.
Well, it's so great when it's like, I mean, you probably saw it with your buddies, and then of course at first with your dad.
So I'm going to
go for it. I'll
No, I can talk to you.
There you go. Yeah, down there. But no, I mean and I can talk for a second, but there's when you connect with people, like-minded individuals, right? So when you share something with somebody that the people you grew up with, you just, maybe you do have people that share that, and sometimes maybe you don't. But when you're able to share something, especially with going into a place like college and meeting all these like-minded individuals, all these doors start to open for you.
Exactly.
And so once, it's funny that you found that in college, because that's what, to anybody listening that is ever on the fence about college, things like that is one of the things that college, university brings to you is like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
That is one of the most, and it brought me climbing. And then I didn't have any climbing friends until I came here to Chile.
Okay. That's great.
I didn't have any, and now I literally, all my friends apart from you guys are climbers.
Really?
Yeah,
For real?
100% of the friends that I made. And it's just, that's a testament to going out into the world, I think, because that's what university is.
So
it's putting you out in the world.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, but by chance, I don't know, my car buddies aren't exactly from college.
Okay.
But I met them when I got to college.
Of course.
But that's true. Like I met like amazing people at college that like are now like one of my best buddies.
Yeah.
And I love them, and when you study the same, I think it's like a theory, but you got like the same brain chemistry, you know? It's like your brain is shaped in some way just like your body's, you know? That's why you connect so good with
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So I mean, we've talked about your passion about cars. What other passions? Because that's one thing I always make sure to let people know is you're not you're not supposed to have just one. You know, passion is a thing that can have as many or as few. So do you have other passions? What other things are you passionate?
So for me, there's no like a passion as big as cars.
Okay.
Because I can't stress this enough. Like cars are like a part, of course, of for my family and my girlfriend and everything.
Yeah.
Like the biggest part of my life.
Yeah.
Like by far. Like 3 to 4 times a week, I be like from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the gas station, you know, like with my friends stuff. And it's crazy because like for my girlfriend, it's really hard to understand why 5 dudes would get like together in a gas station talk about cars. Like why would someone do that? Like it's like for people for non-car people, it's really hard to get that, you know. So I've met people that they say to me like, and what do you do there? Like, do you race? No. Do you like, I don't know, go and drive? No, we just get with our cars and talk. And we have the best time there.
Yeah.
And that's for people that don't like cars, it's really hard to get. It's like, and it's really hard to explain to.
Yeah.
Because like, for someone that doesn't share the passion, it's like, I don't know, why would someone go to, I don't know, for example, I'm not saying anything, but like go to the library and talk about books. For me, I don't understand it. Because people like it, of course, but it's really hard to share it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
One thing is to like understand it, and other thing is to like share it and absolutely.
You could not have said it better.
Mm.
And keep in mind, he's a native Spanish speaker, and he just said a bar right there.
Mm. Well, sorry for my English though.
No, it's great. Shut up. It's
No.
great. I mean, but what you said, it's like it's one thing to understand it, it's another thing to share it. Because you're not only are you sharing, you're living it. In order to share something, you have to live it.
Yeah.
And that's what you do is you live with your buddies just at a gas station, which sounds like the start of a movie.
Yeah. And that's like 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same thing every fucking day, but we still like kick it, you know?
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So what else as far as passion goes?
Oof. I like many things, but as a passion, I really like watches too. Watches.
Really?
Yeah, wristwatches.
Yeah.
I love wristwatches.
What's your favorite brand?
Of watches?
Yes.
Omega.
Omega. I knew you'd have one. And so why is that your favorite? Just the style that they make, or the story?
Of course, there's the styling, of course, but like there's like the history behind it. Because, for example, this watch, it's called Omega Speedmaster Moon Watch.
Okay, let's show it to the camera too. If we can.
So,
Boom.
then you have to make a zoom. You know?
Yeah. That'll get them to look it up by Omega.
This is not sponsored by me.
Yeah. Yet.
And for example, this watch, when the US of A got to the moon,
Yep.
They made like a contest. It's not like a contest, but they needed a watch for the astronauts to go to the moon. Okay?
Really?
Yeah. And there's
One
like,
that wouldn't break under the pressure of space.
So
like that. Okay.
many brands like Bulova and Omega made a watch for the space race.
Yeah. In the 60s.
Yeah, exactly. Omega got the watch, created a watch that won that contest.
Really?
And this watch, this is like an iteration of the original watch, was the watch that was worn the first step on the moon.
No way, man.
That's why it's called the Moon Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's literally the trailblazing of watches, you know, the different frontiers.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's amazing. And so why is it that you would say watches are a passion? Is it?
I wouldn't say it's a passion like
But
it's
why
strictly
not?
a passion.
I mean, the way you spoke about it.
Yeah, no,
right
of course.
there,
Yeah, I love watches. I think that like the craftsmanship behind it is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. That's why watches are so expensive, you know.
Yeah.
So you see like all these rappers like Ghana, I don't know, Young Ghana.
Yeah. They're always talking.
I said Young Ghana, Young Thug. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wearing like I don't know, like $100,000 Patek, you know.
Yeah.
It's because Of course, yeah. I mean, it's a status symbol, of course, but the craftsmanship behind it is crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's hours and hours, like just building it, not even designing it.
Yeah.
You know,
Just
it's
building it,
crazy.
making
Yeah.
it tick,
Yeah,
literally.
exactly. Yeah,
That's
and you know,
I
watches.
never thought about it, how intricate it is.
Yeah, it's crazy. So watches can be like with a battery. They're called quartz.
Yeah.
And automatic watches. So automatic watches don't use battery,
Yeah.
and they only use the movement of your wrist to charge themselves. That's
Wait
crazy.
a second.
That's
What?
crazy. So many watches, like for example, Rolex only makes automatic watches.
Okay.
That means that just with the movement of your wrist, they charge themselves because it's got like a plate that goes like winding it, you
Yeah.
know, just with the movement. So you don't have to exactly wind it like this,
Yeah.
like this. And that's crazy because that's why when I understand this is when you understand why they cost like thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. So if I can try to understand it, it's with the movement of just everyday life, it gives
Exactly,
it life, literally.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's
I'm gonna have to look that up because
Yeah,
I don't.
that's
I'm
crazy.
trying to comprehend that.
No,
That's
it's crazy, and that's why like many people don't get it, and they say, okay, Rolex, why the fuck does it cost like $20,000?
Yeah, it's just a watch.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
think
no.
about how it's
because
made.
you can buy a watch like from $10,
Yeah.
and it's gonna tell the exact time.
Yeah.
Actually, it's crazy. The watches that are with battery, that's called, this is a quartz one.
Yeah.
They tell the time more precisely than an automatic watch,
Yeah.
but still they cost like a fraction of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you don't have the craftsmanship, you know.
Yeah,
It's
and
crazy.
and right there is what it is. It's not just people don't get watches to only be able to tell the time. It's to appreciate
Who the fuck
craftsmanship. Yeah, who
watches
cares?
their watch to see the time? Like no one. Like
Yeah,
not,
we have phones now.
not even. Yeah, of course. Like
Yeah.
I have my watch in the wrist, but I don't see. Like I just tap on my phone and I see the time. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah, and there's like many like so when watches have like different like I don't know how to say it like complication like different things. For example, there's watches that tell like the moon calendar.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah.
there's watches that you got here and you can see where the moon's
Yeah,
set.
yeah, yeah.
That's called a complication.
Okay.
And it's called complication because
Yeah.
it's getting complicated.
Yeah, yeah. It's adding another layer of
Yeah,
craftsmanship.
exactly. Yes, and those watches are like every time like with more complications, more like bigger is the price tag.
You know, Ben, I hope people appreciate and understand what we're talking about right now because it's much more than just being passionate about a thing. It's being passionate about the craftsmanship, and that goes across everything. Like, it doesn't have to be with watches. Like, think about the shirt that you made. First of all, it's made by you, someone that, you know, I know and care about, and then it's created from a passion that you share
Yeah.
with a friend that
Exactly.
shares that passion as well. Those are all things that go into the craftsmanship, and that's amazing.
And there's a lot of craftsmanship around cars. You know,
Yeah. Oh,
that's crazy.
like, yeah, absolutely.
Like there are cars that up until today they're handmade, hand
Yeah.
built. That's crazy because like the Toyotas and Nissans that you see
Those are
every
all
day.
manufactured.
Yeah, they're like huge factories that goes like a conveyor belt, you know, and they go through it and they like with no man labor,
Mhm.
absolutely none.
Yeah.
You know, there's cars like up until today that they're like hand built.
Yeah.
There's a guy that built the entire engine. For example, in Mercedes-Benz,
Yeah.
the AMG line, that is like the sportiest line of
Yeah.
Mercedes. Every engine has like a plaque with the signature of the guy that built the engine. Only one guy built that engine.
Two
One
hands.
guy. 2 hands and one guy. Like not even 4 hands, dude. One
Yeah.
guy. Yeah. And he got like the signature in your car. That's crazy. That's real craftsmanship.
insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And so
crazy.
that's where, I mean, people are like, why does it cost so much? It's like, if time is money, then you can see why something is going to cost more and appreciate it for that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, I feel like we could talk about things we're passionate about forever, but I want to take it one step further with that, and I've already given you kind of a brief overview that we do Zarpado Momentos. And so, I mean, you've already shared some momentos ahora
Yeah.
at Zarpado.
Yeah.
But what about from your life that you've experienced have been things that have been Zarpado momentos? Remember the way I explained it to you, that it's something that left an imprint.
Yeah, perfect.
You know?
So as I said earlier, there's not exactly like one specific moment, but like memories of me being on the track with my dad, him winning. It's like one of the biggest memories I got with him, and that's like, as I told you before, like there's one of my earliest memories is that, you know.
Yeah.
So that like I don't know if it marked my life, but it definitely left like a mark in my life. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And as I think about it, almost every big moment of my life, a part of family and birthdays and graduation and everything, they're almost everything is car related.
Yeah,
It's crazy. For example, in 2019, my father, my brother, and I, along with some friends of my dad, went to England to see like a big car show. It's called Goodwood Festival of Speed.
Okay.
And that's like the peak of my life.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I look back at it and it was like the best moment of my life. Like it's the best, by far the best trip I've had with my dad.
Yeah.
Ever.
Why is that? Why?
Because I don't want to get like repetitive, but
Yeah,
it's like the same. Like I got to share the things that I love with the person I love.
Yeah.
It's my dad.
Yeah.
You know, and that's crazy. I really like it because, and again, it's hard for people to understand it. You know, because why would you travel 13,000 kilometers to see the cars that you probably can? That you probably can see. Here.
Yeah.
So some people say, "Are you crazy? Like, why would you travel that far just to see cars?"
Yeah.
Because it's the thing we love. You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so, what is it that makes it special about seeing those cars over there, or pass it over.
Thank you.
Like, what is it that makes it special about, the cars? Seeing them over there versus seeing them here. There's got to be a difference.
Yeah, of course. No, in that specific car festival, you see cars that are like you can't see anywhere in the world. Like I saw cars that I only saw on TV or in movies. Like for example, have you seen Ford versus Ferrari?
I have, yeah. I have seen that.
So
I actually watched that with my dad.
I saw the exact car that was shown in the movie. Of course, it was a replica in the movie. But I saw the car. I saw the car that my idols raced in. You know, that's crazy.
And is it just as special to be able to go up and ask questions about it and
just look at them, dude? It's like
really that makes it that much cooler.
Mesmerizing, dude. I was like looking at the car and I was like, there's no way that like, for example, I saw. I'm sorry, I'm gonna. So this is a sticker that we put in every shirt we sell, and that car is the car from Ayrton Senna.
Okay.
From 1988.
Yeah, 12. That's my number.
Yeah. Hey, for real?
Yeah.
That's Ayrton Senna's number too.
Yeah, that's my number.
So I got the chance to see that car, to touch that car, and when I was looking at the car, I couldn't like touch it. Like just touching it is like an experience that is way beyond words. I touched the car that Ayrton Senna sat in.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just touched the seat.
No, with all the sweat and everything. Yeah, and most drivers pee on their seats. So
man.
Yeah, so I touched it, and that's like today I was talking exactly that with my friend Emil Klotz, that is the guy from the shirts.
Yeah.
And I told him, sorry, so I touched Ayrton Senna's car.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, get the fuck out of here. But it's like, it's crazy. Like, he only raced in like, I don't know, 20 or 30 cars.
Yeah.
And I got the chance to touch the one that he was most successful in. This is the car that is most successful in the history of F1.
really?
It won 13 out of
Does it
of
look
the
just
14.
like that too?
That's exactly the car.
Okay,
Exactly.
yeah. It's got the
that-
white body with...
exactly.
yeah.
That's why we designed it like
With the colors.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why it's actually Marlboro your shirt, because it was sponsored by Marlboro.
Okay,
That's why
that
Marlboro.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So this was like the most successful car in history of F1. It won 13 out of the 14 races.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
It was like dominant, like really, really dominant.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's amazing, man. I mean that is probably one of the coolest Zarpado mementos I've heard so far.
Yeah,
that
it's crazy.
All you got to do was look and touch.
Yeah.
And that made that much of an imprint on
It
your
was
life.
actually in the McLaren factory. You know McLaren?
Yeah, of course.
We got the chance to the same trip of the festival of Goodwood Festival of Speed. We got to the McLaren factory and we got in, and I saw the car and I thought, okay, it's probably a replica.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it was very weird that like that car would be on display.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked like person that worked there, and he told me like, no, yeah, this is Ayrton Senna's car. No, there's no way. No, there's no way. Yeah, so actually I got some pictures, but they told me that every picture you take inside the factory is absolutely prohibited to show anyone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So, but did you take pictures?
Of course I
But
did.
you can't show it to anybody.
So if that picture I took got by any reasons into social media,
Yeah.
I could get sued like really hard.
Oh.
So really hard.
All right, let's test it. Post it. No. No, that's crazy, man. That just makes it that much cooler.
Yeah,
Like, that makes
it's
it
crazy.
that much cooler.
Yeah. So I'm not like exaggerating, but I must be like one of the 200 people that have ever touched that car.
Yeah.
Like
Unreal.
aside like from the team, of course, and the drivers.
But in that elite group of people
Yeah,
who
yeah.
actually touched
Yeah,
it.
but like visitors and everything,
Yeah.
like I must be like 300, 200.
That's amazing, man. And I mean, and of course, on top of that, to share that with your dad. And
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, that's amazing.
So you have to see the documentary of him. It's called
Yeah,
Senna.
absolutely.
So Senna.
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 SENNA. Okay, yeah.
So he was like a really mystic guy.
Yeah.
Like for real. When
Just born to drive.
and listening to him talk, you get like you can learn a lot of things that are not exactly car related. You know, so everything he said was like could apply to anything that is about passion. So.
And why do you think that is?
It's because he was passionate about it.
Yes.
It's because it was his life. He died. I always say that motorsport and car racing are like the most noble sport ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, not that much now because there's a lot of security now, safety in cars. But back in the 80s, like there was an average of 1 death per season.
Yeah.
So one driver every year would die.
That's
In
crazy.
in the 60s it was like 2 or 3
That's
per
crazy.
season, and they still did it anyway,
Hell yeah.
and with a smile on their face.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Because they wanted to be there.
Yeah. So I think it was I don't know if it was Hemingway. No, I don't know who said it, but there's a guy, a very famous author that said car racing, bullfighting, and mountain climbing are the only real sports. Can you look that up for me, Antonio, please?
Yeah. Well, actually, the Jamie, the Jamie from Rogan show.
Car racing, bullfighting, and mountain climbing.
Who's the author? that
Sport,
said
yeah.
that?
Who said?
Yeah. No, and you know what? What are those
I'm
three
sorry.
things?
It was car racing, bullfighting, are the only real sports. All others are merely games.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing that those have in common is passion, man.
Mm.
There's something about passion, and I just want to put this out there right now because I know people can be able to see that from our conversation. There's something about passion that when you identify that in your life, in 1 second.
Hemingway.
Hemingway? Okay, Hemingway. Thank you, Tony. Hemingway, I'm gonna look that quote. That's gonna be, I'm gonna post that with this thing. But when when you identify what your passion is, and like you said, you're able to find people that share it, you're able to do that. And then when you take it to that step where it literally becomes a noble act,
Yeah.
where
Exactly.
there's no reason in hell or in life that you're doing it.
And you're willing to die for it. That's
Absolutely.
crazy.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
And that
so
is
you're
passion.
willing to die for your passion. That's why I think, like, that's passion, you know? Because if you're willing to die for what you love, aside from people and everything,
Of course.
that's like real passion.
It is, man. That is, and that's a beautiful thing, and that's wonderful. So, I want to hear one more Zarpado momento. I remember, and this doesn't have to be it, but I remember you sharing about the road trips you used to take in the U.S. with your dad.
Yeah.
When I first met you.
Exactly.
I don't know if you have any from those
Of
Zarpado
course,
mementos.
totally.
But
So,
like, if you do share some.
from my people from the US, like every year up until 2017 or 2018, with my family, with my father, my mother, and my brother, we went to the US and we used to rent a car in New York, in JFK,
Yeah.
and we would drive up, I think Boston, no, Newport is past Boston, up north?
New Hampshire?
No, Newport, in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island is below New York, I think.
No. Rhode Island is.
Is it above?
Sorry, no.
I'm
Boston.
so bad at geography. I need to get better at
So
geography.
anyway, so we would rent a car and we would drive up until I don't know if it's Newport or Boston. I don't know which one is up north, but
Yeah.
and we would then stay like 2 days in Boston and we'd drive back down to New York. And,
Yeah.
and that's like we did it like every year for like 4.
Always
or five-
same-
the same road trip, and we
Really?
loved it. Yeah, we loved it. We loved it so much that my dad actually wanted to buy a house in Newport in Rhode Island.
Really?
Yeah, like we were like this close. This
You know, Rhode Island's the smallest state in the
Yeah,
United States.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But like Newport is like very, very nice.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I went to the Hamptons
Mhm.
and I liked it more Newport.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Really?
it's crazy.
That's so cool.
Newport
I've never
actually.
been out there.
Newport was like the posh. You know what's posh?
Yeah, of course.
Like the posh beach town
Yeah.
before Hampton. So in Newport there's like many like mansions like JFK, like the Kennedy mansions were in Newport.
Yeah.
Yeah, like huge mansions.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Newport. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
much about the East Coast, man. Especially geography.
You're West Coast.
I am. West Coast, West Coast.
West Coast. No, I'm East Coast.
Yeah, right. You guys were sitting on the West Coast. Yeah, that's amazing. So what about those trips made it a Zarpado momento for you?
Like I don't know, like when you travel with your family, like every problem you got, it like kind of like goes away,
Yeah.
you know. So like you have the best time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I loved it. Yeah. And my dad like knows a lot about cities because of his TV program.
Yeah.
And like every time we travel, he just like teaches like a lot of things.
He
It's
just
crazy.
knows things and he shares.
Yeah, for example, yeah, like New York, like he is absolutely in love with New York.
Really?
He calls it a beautiful chaos.
Yeah.
Yes, because it is.
It is. It
Yeah,
truly is.
it's like everything smells like shit, like rats everywhere,
Yeah.
like homeless people like
Everywhere.
yeah, like screaming at you,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
everyone tries like to rob you, but it's like it's beautiful, you know. It's,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful chaos.
Because then you find things that
Yeah.
are worth living there, worth
Exactly,
visiting
yeah.
there.
And yes, you know, New York was like the cultural capital of the world in the 1960s, you know,
Yeah.
1950s,
Yeah.
years after World War II. It was like so that's why many artists like Andy Warhol, for example, was like stationary in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got a lot of cool things to see. Have you been to New York yet?
I have. Yeah, I've actually recently been, and then my family. I'm actually gonna build a house out there. My aunt's giving me a
Really?
ton of land up
Nice.
in upstate New York, and so I get to build a house.
Nice.
Yeah, just have have houses around the world.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Humble man.
Yeah. Why not? You know, we're making our futures happen right here,
of
man.
course,
So why
yeah,
not?
Exactly, yeah.
But I mean, I couldn't agree more, man. There's some beautiful about going and taking those journeys like that with the family.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, all the things, the little problems that just get put to the side and you're in the moment
Yeah.
enjoying it. And if it's anything like my family, those moments of problems and stress become the fun things you remember.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it's crazy. I love it. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I'm going to take another cigarette. So
yeah.
please.
Well, you know, we've talked about these Zarpado mementos, and I'm actually while he's rolling a cigarette, I want to go into something that I wanted to share. The reason that I do these Zarpado mementos, and I'll tell this to you, Ben. I already did a little bit, but I mean, we're so many times in our life, like, I mean, you see the news, it's all negative. People are, you know, going to therapy, talking about their trauma, and rightfully so, you know, you need to address that. But there's not many times where you get an opportunity to address the moments that made a mark on your life in a positive way.
Yeah.
And I mean, whether it be from family, from friends, from passion.
Everyone always asks about what like marked your life, but always in like in a negative way.
Yeah.
It's like always the same.
Because I want to figure out why.
Yeah.
But
I never thought of that, but that's true. Like every time like someone asks like big moments in your life, it's with like death or like trauma.
Something hard.
Exactly. Yeah, that's crazy.
And I put that in my questions that I give to my interviewers because I want you to be able to think on this plane. But then the thing that we actually record is, hey, no, I want you to share these moments that mark your life for the better. So, I mean, those are some great Zarpado mementos, and I guess I want to transition to one of the last things that we're going to talk about today is about you, Benga. What's next? What is next? What is the ultimate goal? What do you want to do in your life?
Hard question.
It is. But now's the time and place.
I don't think many people got that figured out yet.
No, and you shouldn't. It's always changing. But at this time, June 17th, 2023, what would you like to do, my friend, with your life?
So right now, I'm in a very happy position in my life, happy moment. I got everything figured out for now. But if you ask me like about my dreams, and I would like in a perfect scenario, what do we do? Like, of course, like one of my dreams was to be like a racing driver.
Really?
Of course, it didn't happen because I'm too old now. Because if you want to be a racing driver, you have to start like at 12.
Really?
Yeah. Like.
You have to, or that's usually.
No, you have to like.
Okay.
Like if like every single F1 driver today in the grid, they all started like at 12.
Yeah.
Max 13.
That's
max.
Great.
Yeah. So that's like in a perfect, like if I could go back in time and I got like millions of dollars, I would be a racing driver.
Yeah.
Of course, now is to finish my career, my degree, and work in anything that's related to cars.
Okay.
Anything like factory, I don't know, big manufacturers, F1 teams, anything that I could like every day I could wake up and I could go to my dream job about cars. Like,
well, you know, I'm sorry to interrupt, but one thing I want to make sure you know is one thing that Tony actually shared with me about you is that you're the guy. You're the guy that wherever you go to places, people know Benja, and they share something in common. I don't know what it is, but that is what she told me is Benja's the guy. So
nah, it's not like that, but yeah.
No. I'm not saying it to raise your ego. I'm saying that she frankly put it. That is a talent you have, is that you're a person that connects with people around you.
I like to make friends.
Absolutely.
I like to talk.
But know that
some people say I talk too much, but maybe it's true.
Yeah, well, maybe it's because you got good things to say. Well, and I say that just because if you say I want to do anything with cars, I mean to maybe help you limit the scope as of right now while you're 21. With people with cars, you're the guy that people know about cars.
Yeah.
And that's all. And the only reason I'm saying is to make sure that you know that.
Yeah. No, I'm aware that people like usually associates me with cars, like Benjamin. Cars.
Yeah.
Because I always post things in my Instagram.
Yeah, wear hats that say
Ford
on it.
Got a brand about motorsport.
Yeah.
Actually, it's called Motorsport Inspired, my brand.
Motorsport Inspired is
exactly
the slogan.
Yeah. So of course, I would love to do anything that's related with cars. You know, anything, anything. Like, dude, like from being a car journalist that I don't think I will get there, but like I don't know, in a factory, dude, like everything.
Yeah.
And Chile is not the place to do that, you know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we don't have cars manufacturers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like the place to do that is like Germany, the U.S. Or sorry, from the people from the US, but I don't like American cars.
Yeah.
I don't. But
I don't know anything about them, so that doesn't bother me.
Yeah. But yeah, like anything, everywhere in Europe, like you could like got like a job in a factory
Yeah.
or anything. Yeah.
Come to Germany with us. We're gonna go study over there, study car journalism. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
I heard it's free over there.
Everything is free.
Everything's free. Come on.
Like for real, everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's, if you're a citizen, yeah, if you're a citizen.
Yeah.
If you're not, it's like really expensive.
Yeah, well, you know, who knows? We'll dream. That's what this show's about.
Exactly.
So the dream is just to do something with cars.
Yeah, like, yeah,
Just be involved with cars because that gives you life.
exactly. Yeah, and it's like quite obvious as I've been talking about cars. I think it's quite obvious that I would love to do anything with cars. You know,
Yeah.
to wake up and go to my job and like do anything that is related with cars, car related. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, the reason I ask this question is so that later on in your life, I mean, we're putting this out there into the world. You can always come back and hear the things that you said talking about passion. And I truly believe that there's no greater or more powerful thing than speaking about what you're passionate about. Because that literally writes your future.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is amazing, and I wish you the best of luck. And I think there's one more thing I want to ask you. And as we've been doing this interview, I actually wanted to, especially with the time we're at right now, Father's Day coming up. First, I want to ask you, what has it meant to you to share this passion with your father?
Everything, down to the last. Have you seen the meme? Down to the last minute detail.
Yeah.
Exactly. That what has
He's
meant.
a mean guy. He sends me 4 or 5 a day, and I always have monkeys and chickens with weird
Yeah.
clothing.
So yeah, it has meant for me everything. Like all of my car buddies, like yeah, maybe like their dads likes cars and everything, but none of their dads go to the gas station with me.
Yeah.
With them, you know.
And your dad does.
And my dad does, and that's crazy. Like that's why I mean, of course, if you think about it, it's quite obvious that if my dad like loves cars, I would like cars too. You know, it's quite obvious. I mean, it's like a natural selection.
Yeah.
Of course, I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like my brother doesn't like cars that much, but he shares with my dad other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the passion for philosophy or lecture or
Yeah.
history, it shares with my brother.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing. My dad like knows a lot about everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy about
And
everything.
he gave that to his boys.
Yeah, exactly,
He gave
yeah.
those passions to his boys. The same as my pops did, man. You know, we share baseball, but my brother wasn't a baseball guy.
Yeah.
He shares music with my dad.
Exactly,
I love
yeah.
music, but not in the way that they do.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, yeah.
So it's, and then I just asked that because, I mean, especially with the time now, and there's so many people who've, you know, lost parents, lost things like that, and it's really special and honestly a gift to be able to have those people still in
Yeah.
your life and doing that. So I think the last thing I want to ask you, it's very specific to our interview, has been to anybody listening, what advice can you give to, whether that be learning a passion from a parent, a family member, a loved one? What advice do you have for, you know, recognizing that passion and living it, you know, being able to do that?
So I'm gonna say something that you usually hear from people that have lost their parents.
Yeah.
But it's like be with them, like get like every single second you get with them like to your heart.
Yeah.
Like that's like the most precious thing. I've come like to the realization that without losing any of my parents, neither my dad or my mom, that it's like the most precious thing that you can have. Like
Yeah.
if my father were to leave this world today,
Mm-hmm.
of course I would be destroyed.
Yeah.
But I would look back and I would say, okay, I did like everything I had to do with him.
Hell,
Everything I had to do with
fucking
him.
yeah.
Yeah. Like there's absolutely no regrets I would have in terms of my dad.
Yeah.
Like absolutely none. Like I would say I take every moment that I got with him, surrounding cars and everything, watches and everything,
Yeah.
like in my heart, you know. That's crazy. I know it's something that you hear mostly from people that have lost a parent, you know.
Of course, yeah.
And they say, oh, I wish I could got like more time with him.
Mhm.
I think I wouldn't have to say that because I've done everything with my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. This doesn't by any means that like I wouldn't be sad. Of course, I would be destroyed.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've like, I don't know how to say, aproveché mi papá.
You enjoy.
Yes, I
you
enjoyed
the
like
time that you
yes,
had.
yeah, exactly. Like every single second with him is a joy.
Yeah.
Of course, we fight.
Of course.
Yeah, like every family,
Yeah.
you know.
Of course.
But yeah.
Well, you know, I just asked that because I can tell how much of an imprint he's made on your life, and I think it's so important to be able to share with people that like the first 20 years of your life, if you're lucky enough to have the parents that you have,
Yeah.
that you know care and watch out for you, is they're creating you the way that they want, and the rest of your life is who you want to be.
Exactly.
It's very important to look at those first 20 years of your life and say like, what good was bestowed upon me,
Yeah.
and what can I grab from that to make myself the person I want to be. And I think,
Yeah.
man, you're set up to have an amazing life.
Hopefully.
Truly.
Hopefully. God's
Why
plan.
not?
God's plan.
Absolutely, man. God's plan. Well, brother, it's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been mine. My pleasure.
Absolutely. And this is out next Friday. So everybody look up and say the name of your brand.
Ren Blitz at Ren Blitz.
Ren Blitz. We'll post it with the interview, which is
Perfect.
going to come out next Friday.
Perfect.
And you know what? Take a look at the people you have in your life who've given you, who've made you who you are. First of all, thank them. Second of all, honor them by living that shit.
Yeah.
Live it.
Be
That's
with
the best
them.
thing you can do.
Enjoy every moment.
Zarpado.
Every moment.
Boom. Look at that, man.
That was beautiful.
Told you,
I'm
right?
sorry for my English, dude.
Dude, shut up.